What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodzy, and this is your sports show for Thursday, October 5th, 2023. This is all brought to you by Buffalo Peak Golf Course. Man, it's a beautiful course out in Union, 18-hole link-style course. Dana and his team are doing a great job out there. Go check it out. Buffalo Peak Golf Course, meet me at the peak. Sports-wise, this weekend, EOU's on the road for pretty much everything, but softball and baseball both have scrimmages. Softball's going to scrimmage Treasure Valley Community College at 11 o'clock on Saturday at Peggy Anderson Memorial. The EOU baseball team will scrimmage Walla Walla at 1 o'clock at Optimus. So if you have nothing going on this weekend and you want to get out and enjoy this nice weather that's coming, go check out some EOU softball or baseball. Tomorrow night, LeGrand and Madras, 7 p.m. Community Stadium, streamed right here on the EOAlive network. We will also be streaming Pendleton and Crook County at the same time. So, I mean, you can flip back and forth. You can watch the LeGrand game. I'll be on the call for the LeGrand game. Join me. It's going to be a fun time. My guest today, after an 0-4 start, they got the win last Saturday against Arizona Christian. It was a big win, 34-0 at home. They go on the road this Saturday to play Montana State Northern. It's EOU head football coach Tim Camp. Here it is. Let's just start off with the positive in the room. The win on Saturday.
There's always a positive in the room. I think that Arizona Christian, obviously a team that's been a playoff team for years coming out of the Sooner, is in the Frontier now. Big win. I think our kids played to win. I think that we practiced that way, though. I mean, that was the one emphasis all week, is that we wanted to be able to put it on film, really put it together and put it on film. Now, was it clean in all aspects? No, it wasn't. But that's college football, and I know a lot of people know a lot about college football and football in general. But at the same time, the scoreboard will show one thing, but then the film will show another. I didn't want to look at the scoreboard. I wanted to look at the film. I wanted us to put some things on film that we could walk back in on Sunday when we come back in here and meet and go out to practice. Number one, that we can correct our issues. But number two, we can feel good about what we're watching. Right. I think that's one of the things that we got to keep instilling in these kids in this day and age, is to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is where we are. This is who we are. What are we going to do? Do we like this, or do we want to change it? So I think we took a step in the right direction to be able to look at ourselves and be able to say, hey, you know what? That 13-7 game against Rocky Mountain, very winnable game for Eastern Oregon. Absolutely. Right? And again, there were so many positives come out of that. Now, if you're a scoreboard watcher, you're like, there's another loss. But I'm not a scoreboard watcher. Ultimately, I will take responsibility on the wins and losses. They track with me no matter where I go, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, to be a head coach and to be able to see the things that are going to lead you to the next game against Arizona Christian and be able to pull those all in and try and tie it all together, that's what it's really about in my mind. Again, I've been a college football coach for 24 years, right? And I love it. I absolutely can love it, right? But the one thing that I always want to be able to see is guys putting it on film. So then, again, we can come back and say, hey, you know what? I can do that better. Or, hey, you know what? I'm in the market is trying to find people doing great things, right? Whether it's practice, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in study hall, whatever it is, I think that you can always build somebody up. And as a coach, I've always been, hey, are you trying to help us, or are you hurting us right now, right? What direction do you want to go here? And you know me, I'm one of the most positive people in the world, but I'm also one of the most competitive people in the world. And I want to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So at the end of the day, put it on film.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. The defense in the last few years, defense has been really our strong point. You know, the first 3 games of this year, I'm questioning the defense. As you know, we've talked about this. And then all of a sudden there's this transition against Rocky where we're not giving up as many points, and we have the defensive player of the week 2 weeks in a row in Grant and Blanshaw this week. Yeah. What changed?
Well, I think the people who know football and as you look at what we've put out there, we changed people and put them in different positions.
Shaw moved inside.
Yeah, we found ways that are going to be able to, and I credit Brian Mills on this and Coach Green and Coach Taylor. to be able to find what do we do best? Where do these guys play the best? And then to be able to get them playing at a higher level, really closer to the ball, right? In a lot of ways. And I think that has paid dividends for us instead of just sitting back and going, oh, well, hey, you know, they played this position, to be creative enough to be able to say, hey, you know what, this guy needs to play this spot right here. And then for the players to be like, hey, you know what, coach, anything that's going to help the team, that's what I want to do. So again, credit the defensive coaches for being able to put them in the correct positions for this moment, you know, for this moment and what we're doing. Because again, as we've talked in the past, yeah, you're sitting back there going, well, we got a lot of players that played a lot of football, but how are we giving up this many yards? You know, what are we doing? You know, so again, I think adjustments, being able to make adjustments, and maybe we would have saw this a little bit sooner if we had a few more coaches. You know, I don't know, or maybe if I was just a little bit better at what I do. You know, and I think that all of those things play a big time factor in what we're doing. But credit the defense, heck of a job. But Brian and I talk every single day, and that's the style of defense that I'm used to around here. You know, and we've seen it the last 2 weeks, and I'm very, very proud of them.
I really like Blaine Shaw in the box.
Well, Blaine's a physical kid. You know,
Yeah.
Blaine's a physical kid. He understands football. He understands that to be able to play that physical brand of football. And I think he's found a good home.
I do too. Okay, yeah. So let's switch over to the offensive side of the ball. This year we're putting up points. That's not an issue. I mean, well, a little bit, but compared to last year, and I hate to compare, but it's what we have to look at, what we have to go off of, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're putting up a lot more points this year. And this, I mean, 34, obviously against Rocky, we didn't put up a huge number, but we're probably averaging close to 20 points a game.
Yeah, I think anytime that you can average that 24 to 28 points a game, you should be winning football games. And that's just the college football in general, and the history. You know, this is my 18th year at Eastern Oregon. And again, going back from being one of the top 2 offenses in the conference, top 10 in the country, to being able to recreate that, right? You got to be able to recreate that. You can't ever stay the same. So our explosive plays are off the charts right now. You know, we opened up with Flicka opening up and we underthrew it. That's a touchdown. You know, there's things in that game as you watch that, hey, all of a sudden this could be a 50-point game. So we're missing some things, you know, and a little bit has to do with us up front, you know, being able to do the things and give our quarterback some time. But creativity wise, myself and Coach Brown, I credit all to him, is being able to get this thing energized again and be able to get the playmakers the plays. But we're still missing easy stuff, you know. And again, as you've installed a brand new offense with some of the same concepts, there's still some learning curve going on, right? And again, we got to be better. We substitute a lot of people. We got a lot of different personnel groups going in and out, and you're gonna see in the game, if you watch the game and you know football, you know offensive football, you're gonna see some of our mistakes showing up based on the fact that our kids are confused in a couple ways. Maybe we're doing too much. I don't think so, right? These are things that have to be done if you want to be a high octane offense, and if you want to be able. So we're continuing to push. We got different schemes going in each week, right? And if you're behind, then you're behind. You won't play, right? You got to be able to do the things that we do to be able to keep up with the pace of what defenses are trying to do to us, right? You just can't go out there at the same old 4 pass plays like we used to, or the same 3 run schemes. You got to be able to change and adapt, you know, and to be able to have answers, which, as you guys have seen, and hopefully everybody's seen, I'm not sure if they do, but is that we have answers now, right? Now, sometimes those answers don't always work out because playmakers make plays. I mean, who are we kidding? You know, those are the things that we're continuing to work on, finding the matchups, you know, creating our guys in space against their guys, right? Find the hideout. You know, those are the things that you do offensively to try and get that 30-point game, that 40-point game, and trying to keep the sticks moving all the time.
Yeah. we were 0-4 going into the Arizona Christian game. What'd you say to the guys after that win? Like, what you
Well,
walk in the locker room?
it was. Hey, you know what? That's expected around here. I mean, that's a Tim Camp football team working to do something and to be able to put it on film. That's expected. Don't get too jacked up about it, right? Because again, we got work to do, and we went right back to work the very next day. You know, those are things to be able to tie things together. It's continued to stack bricks and continue to work and continue to believe, right? Because again, shut out all the stuff that people tell you, right? Oh, you're so good. You're this, you're that. Hey, you know what? I don't listen to any of it, because again, when you're on a journey and when you have a plan in place and you're continuing to work extremely hard, sometimes the outcomes you want don't come immediately, right? But it's to be able to fight the good fight and to be able to do this. So again, we raised Eastern Oregon from the dirt. We'll do it again. Right. And there's no doubt in my mind, and we will leave no doubt as we continue to work forward. Now, does that mean that we're going to win every game out? Hey, that's our goal. That's our goal, right? That's our team goal. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we take it one game at a time, right? But that was a good start against Arizona Christian. But again, putting it on film, creating great habits every day, you know, building up young men to be something besides, you know, building them up to be better today than they were yesterday. That's the goal, and that's how we're going to continue to approach this. We've done it for 18 years around here, and again, I am so encouraged about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I love coaching these kids. Right, we got some really good kids, and we'll continue to bring in. I mean, shoot, we got 52 freshmen on the team. You know, we're gonna continue to build this thing. I love it.
Yeah, with the 1-4 start, obviously there's going to be, you know, naysayers and people talking. One of the comments I sent you is, and I'm going to read it straight off of here just so I don't. It says, "Big whoop, camp needs to go. We'll go winless in conference." How do you respond to that?
Well, I don't. I will, because I respect you.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion, and I respect that opinion, and that's the right of everybody. But to say it this way is my job as a coach. All right, is to create an atmosphere out there on the field that the fans can appreciate, and I haven't done that. I mean, that's as easy as that. So he's not wrong. Now, do I need to go? Hey, you know what? Eastern Oregon is a place that I love. Yeah, Eastern Oregon is the program that I run here. I think we try and do it the right way based off the kids. There's a lot of factors that go into that we don't need to get into. But at the end of the day, I could appreciate his opinion, you know, or whoever's opinion that is. I think that as we move forwards, right, again, my job is to create an atmosphere out there that the fans can appreciate. I want them to be a scoreboard, because I want them to look at the scoreboard, because you can either be a coach, you can be a fan, you can be an official, or you can be a player. I choose to be a coach, and I choose to coach a program in the right way and continue to build in the correct direction.
Right. All right. So Northern this Saturday.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. What are you telling the guys? What's the preparation like?
Hey, let's go.
Look forward to
the next thing that we do is, again, continue to build great habits, to put it on film during practice. You're going to practice. You're going to play like you practice. Everybody knows that, right? Now, you can talk about it, or you can go and do it, right? So again, we're going to go out there, and we're going to, again, trying to stack those bricks, right? We started in the weight room on Sunday, come back in here, had academic game plan. Again, these young men have a full day schedule, and it's not just go out to practice, see what we can do. There's a lot more things that go into it than just to go play on Saturday, right? So again, the second week of school, we got study hall, we got a lot of things, you know, because our goal, again, you know, before it was to try and be a 3-point GPA team. Now, hey, let's go on 18 terms of being a 3-point or above GPA, right? Let's continue to graduate these players while you can win games. Again, we've done it before. We'll do it again, all right? But at the end of the day, versus Northern, very good football team. They're a college football team. I expect them to give us their very, very best. How we travel, how we approach this thing, and how we get up and go practice once we get into Havre at 7:45 p.m. at Blue Pony Stadium under the lights. How we do all of those things matters. That's super important to me. And that will also, that the game will be won or lost before you even get there, right? Now, the in-game plan, the in-game corrections, all of those things will happen, but you win the game during the course of the week. How efficient can we be? How many bricks can we stack? And how many times can you put it on tape? That's what we care about.
I would imagine that the buzz around the locker room is a little bit different this week, though.
But see, I said we have good kids. We have good kids. They've always believed, right? And at the end of the day, the one thing that I can promise them is hard work. We don't have anybody on full scholarship. We don't have any of that stuff. But what we do have is a bunch of kids that hopefully will continue to believe. And by again, winning one, hey, great job. We're not undefeated in conference. We've won a game in conference. Now, can we build off of those things? Can we win 2 games in conference? Can we continue this for a huge homecoming matchup versus the Carroll College Fighting Saints?
Huge.
All those things before, when people told me you couldn't do it, or hey, well, who's this guy? What is this? We did it, and we'll do it again. You just got to have belief, you got to have faith, and you got to have a work ethic like no other, right? That's how you change, and that's how you will continue to progress.
Thanks, Coach Camp. I appreciate you. Let's get a big dub this weekend and keep it rolling. None of this is possible without the sponsors. Buffalo Peak Golf Course, Dana and his team are doing a fantastic job out there. Go through Union, big blue sign on the right-hand side says Buffalo Peak. Take a left, go up the hill, and check out that beautiful golf course. It's awesome. Buffalo Peak Golf Course, meet me at the peak. That's all I got for you on a Thursday, Eastern Oregon. I appreciate you. I'm Doddsy, and I'm out.